Hey guys, this is Colin Carasquillo, host of the Experimarketing Express podcast, the podcast where we bring you great tidbits of information in 5 minutes or less. So without further ado, let's get down to business. In one of our episodes of Experimarketing, my co-host and I discussed the idea of a QSP with Naveen Nanja from Adherence and 4eyes. A QSP is simply a quality sales prospect. In that conversation, we were talking about Google Analytics and how dealers can utilize Google Analytics to actually glean or gain some knowledge or insight into the quality of the traffic that paid traffic sources could be generating for you, right? So dealers are spending hard-earned money on advertising, and now they ultimately want to know, what did that get me, right? What was the return on the ad spend? Now, all different vendors have different reports and so on and so forth, but here's something that you can look at that you know is through Google, unbiased reporting, that if you know how to access it, can be very powerful for you. So with that, let's jump right to Google Analytics. So here's something I pulled up for one of our dealerships. What I've done, once you, homepage is usually what this is going to default to, as you know, if you're savvy with Google Analytics. If not, defaults to the homepage. On the left-hand side, you want to hit the Audience tab. You're going to open that up, and then you want to hit Cohort Analysis. I've already selected Cohort Analysis. You can see this is open. From here, what you're going to want to do, it's going to show you all traffic, and it defaults to day, and then it also defaults to, I believe, 6 days. And if you switch it to weeks, which you can see I've done here, it will default to 6 weeks. For me, I like to look at larger portions of data. That's how marketers, we make informed decisions. We look at trends. We look at data over time so we can make decisions, right? Informed decisions. With that stated, I went in and I added a segment. Now, the way you do that is you hit New Segment. You can go to Traffic Sources. Your medium is going to be whatever is on the tail end of your UTM code, right? So it could be referral traffic, CPC traffic, as you can see here, organic, display, run some commercials we're using QR codes on so we can track that. Source, very important though. Let's just say we wanted to use our Google SEM, which is how I've set this up. You can hit Google, and then you can hit the medium CPC. You would give it a title. Let's say up here, CPC. It'll pull the traffic, and then you hit Save. So now I've already done that. You can see it's on the top left-hand corner here. This was a segment I created. Now, I wanted to look at weeks. I wanted to look at the last 12 weeks. We know that a person's shopping pattern can be anywhere between 30 and 90 days. Maybe it's longer than 90 days, but we're usually seeing in between that 30 and 90 day window, right? So 1 month to basically 3 months of people shopping before they convert, okay? So here we are looking at 12 weeks of data for my SEM. What this has identified in the past 12 weeks, okay, there have been 3,713 users that have been pulled in. And the cohort analysis is now going to show us, after the first click, right, how many of those people have returned to our website over this time frame. Okay? Now, why is this exceptionally fascinating? Because this is going to show us exactly what we talked about. Person has an initial click, 8 users, August 9th through the 15th. In week 1, all right, 12.5% of the users came back. In week 2, 25% came back. In week 3, 37% came back. Week 4, 37% came back. Week 5, 62% of the users came back. Now, yes, against 8 users, it's a small number. But what that means, though, is that out of those 8 users, that percentage point is an engaged shopper. And you're seeing that as time goes on, some of these numbers get higher and higher. I mean, yes, this is the spike here, 62%. But what does that mean? That means more than half of the people that initially interacted with our ad, right, between August 8th and August 15th, 62% of those 8 people came back to my website in week 5. Okay? It's 4 or 5 people. 5 people came back to my website in week 5. Okay, so what does this show you? It shows you that these individuals that initially did click on your SEM, yes, were engaged shoppers. They sought you out, and now they're back on your website. And you could see that all the way out until week 11, when 25% of the traffic on just these users came back. And here are the numbers. And it's very fascinating to see. You can do that for any of your paid traffic sources. You just have to segment them out. If you don't see a large number of cohort in there, then you don't want to use that traffic source moving forward. That is the cohort analysis in 5 minutes or less, and that's Experimarketing Express. We'll see you next time.